State of Georgia versus Marcus Eberhart. We, the jury, find the defendant of all counts.
Developing tonight, guilty verdicts. Former East Point Police Sergeant Marcus Eberhart found guilty on all charges, including felony murder. This in the 2014 tasering death of Gregory Towns.
Well, the jury found his co-defendant, former Police Corporal Howard Weems, guilty of lesser charges, including involuntary manslaughter. Now, the prosecution in this case argued that the taser was a violation of policy since Towns was handcuffed at the time.
The defense, however, claimed Towns' death was caused by an illness that had absolutely nothing to do with being tased.
Well, Fox 5's Patty Pan was in court today for that verdict.
Well, after a day of deliberations, the jury did come back with a verdict just before 6 o'clock tonight. The jury, composed of 5 women and 7 men, found Sergeant Marcus Eberhart guilty on all counts, and they found Corporal Howard Weems guilty on 4 of the 10 counts. Now, this is the courtroom as a verdict came down just before 6 o'clock. The jury found Sergeant Eberhart again guilty on all counts and Corporal Weems guilty on involuntary manslaughter, reckless conduct, and oaths of office counts. Now, the two were accused of tasing 24-year-old Gregory Towns to death back in April of 2014. They were called to a domestic dispute when Towns apparently ran. Now, the officers found him a short time later and cuffed him while trying to get him back to the patrol car. Towns apparently said that he was out of breath and couldn't stand, and that's when the prosecution says that the officers tased him. He later died. Now, I can tell you that Sergeant Eberhart was taken to custody immediately after this verdict was read. The 2 former East Point officers are due back in court on Wednesday at 10 o'clock in the morning for motions and sentencing. That is the latest outside Fulton County Courthouse. I'm Patty Pan, Fox 5 News.
Shortly after the split verdict was reached today in the murder trial of Howard Weems and Marcus Eberhart, our cameras caught up with the attorneys from both sides.
Now, the lead prosecutor says justice was served, while an attorney for the defense says they plan to appeal the jury's decision.
He did something in this case that should have never been done. And so it was important to our office to restore confidence in our criminal justice system, to let people know that if you are doing the wrong thing, that the system applies equally to everyone, to police officers as well as civilian defendants.
There's actually 3 victims. I mean, obviously Mr. Towns, but his family, but obviously the 2 officers. We respect the verdict. We think they got it wrong, and there will be appeals in the case.
Well, family members of Mr. Towns briefly commented after that verdict was reached. They said they're happy with the jury's decision and feel that this will help them find peace.
Former Corporal Howard Weems will remain free on bond until he reports to court on Wednesday. He'll be joined by former Sergeant Eberhart at 10 o'clock in the morning for their sentencing. Of course, we will be there and we will report the results of that hearing on air and online. You can receive alerts sent directly to your smartphone on the Fox 5 Atlanta app. Breaking